What's going on, guys? My name is Chevalric, and this is a bit of a different video, as I'm just going to do a first reaction to something that just released. Something really big, and that is the future of player value in Runescape, a message from Mod Pips, aka the statement we were supposed to get about MTX. I haven't read it yet, so I will be reading it out loud and just giving my first thoughts and opinion. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video. Is it actually that long? Actually, there's some good information there. So let's read through it and I'll just give you my initial thoughts about it. The future of player value in Runescape, a message from Mod Pips, which is the CEO, by the way. Hello, Scapers. You may have seen the recent player value survey that caused quite a bit of speculation in the community. Today, I want to talk to that survey and what comes next. Just before I do, I just want to quickly reflect on the past few months and how the Runescape team have embraced their mission to be more player involved than ever. Honestly, without even reading further on, they have done a fantastic job when it comes to just communicating with everyone and just having everyone more involved, and I'm very curious to see how they will continue this on in the future. I mean, before and pretty much up until Hero Pass, we had great communication as well, but we all know what happened then. When I look at the recent RuneScape ahead, showing nearly a year of content ahead of us, or as much increased transparency on the content development through things like right-click, examine, through to getting back to regular content releases that deliver on what you want to see, I can really see the progress, and I hope you feel it too. I do, Mod Pips, I do. While content is the main part of the tapestry that is RuneScape, there are other aspects of the game too, including the commercial features like membership, premier membership, Bond, Solomon's Store, and Treasure Hunter. Just the 2024 player survey provided valuable insight that inspired our latest content roadmap. We felt it was time to expand our efforts, asserting the other offerings within RuneScape. I mean, at the end of the day, and I didn't really say it when I first tackled it, but at the end of the day, RuneScape is a company, which means that they need to make money and they need to find a way to do so, because obviously they have this standard and their entire company is built around them earning this much money from MTX, so they obviously need to find something that can replace it. I mean, they probably will take a loss, but obviously they try to not take as big of a loss because it also means that they would probably have to fire people. But anyway, the survey. A few weeks ago, the team launched a bespoke player survey to dive deeper into your perspectives on offering beyond membership, including Treasure Hunters and Solomon's Store, and how they impact your experience with RuneScape. It's been a while since we did a survey that delved into MTX in this depth, and it was important to do in a way that allows us to get more quantified view of player responses across a representative cross-action of the community. That included asking some pretty direct questions that you're probably not used to seeing from us. While I can't go into the results given they are commercially sensitive, I mean, makes sense. I mean, other companies can use that as data to not necessarily blackmail Jagex, but I understand that. There were a lot of important perspectives shared with us in that survey. Most importantly, it's led us to a major decision. We are committing to a community consultation on the MTX offerings in RuneScape. Interesting. Very interesting. What this means. So what do I mean when I talk about a community consultation? In essence, we're willing to explore meaningful changes to the MTX offerings in RuneScape. By working with players in a community consultation, we get to a better understanding more about what the issues are and why, and to explore new ideas and potential alternatives, balanced with ensuring we're responsibly meeting the financial needs of the game. Like I said, Jagex is a company and they need to meet the financials. Let's be honest, yet again, they need to pay the people that work there, and everything right now is built around the idea that they have the income of MTX. This isn't a yay or nay approach, but a process influenced by feedback. I want to be straight with you that this is not a quick or simple path. Our community is large and diverse, meaning we have a range of different views, and any changes can impact different players in different ways, which, by the way, before I read on, that's actually something I feel like a perspective that is always kind of lacking when we speak about MTX is there are people that really like it, and not in the sense of like, oh, cool gambling fun. No, there's I've talked to quite a lot of players that see direct experience purchases via Treasure Hunter or bonus experience as something great, because that means that whilst they have a full-time job, they can still be in the game and get to their goals due to those lamps and stars. And of course, for someone like myself who isn't a big fan of MTX, and you may be watching as well, that might be something a bit strange where you're kind of like, well, it's ruining your game, so why would it be in there? But then again, maybe that player base that actually benefits from being able to buy direct experience, or well, gamble for experience, but let's be honest, it's pretty much direct experience, is quite large, which might mean that they won't be playing the game if that wasn't a part of it. Who knows? Like, it's just something I'm throwing out there. We need to consider those who do find value in what's what's currently offered, and understand how it may affect their willingness to play the game, especially given many of these offerings have been in the game almost as long as they haven't now, which is a very sad reality, but that's pretty much what I was just saying. We need to understand what value we offer that is positive, and how we could explore options that build on that in a way that feels right to most players. Critically, for the long-term prospects of the game, decisions we make have a business reality to them. 2, we must ensure we're making considered changes that keep RuneScape development financially healthy. Yet again, something I said makes a lot of sense. For example, if the consultation leads us down a path where they consider the removal of Treasure Hunter, we would need to explore what alternative offerings could be counterbalance the impact of that decision. I will get to that. All that said, this is a challenge we're ready to take on, and we're excited to work with players to explore the possibilities. Okay, before we go on to the next steps, just my idea. My ideal world is just have membership as it is right now, and then let us buy cosmetics. I feel like cosmetics should always be earnable in MMORPGs, but we're so far in, as it mentioned earlier as well. Like, it's been longer in the game than it hasn't been in the game. Meaning that at this point, the amount of MTX cosmetics that already have been added are pretty much have devalued cosmetics, period, in RuneScape. There's nothing much they can do. I mean, the only real worth cosmetic is the titles that you can get and the completion escapes that there are in RuneScape, like the Master Quest escape, completion escape, etc, etc. So I think that a business model where they just offer us cosmetics plus membership is great. And however they handle those cosmetics is a second thing, because recently they introduced the Black Primal outfit, which is buyable with direct money and not rune coins, which I think is always the best approach, because it gives a realistic view on how much it actually costs, instead of 400 coins, where those 400 rune coins in this case doesn't really have a value to someone just looking at it, because, you know, you can't buy 400, you need to buy 600, then you have 200 left. But for the next cosmetic, it's also 400, and you know how that pretty much goes with that kind of stuff. So I would prefer the direct purchase, like the direct money value, but maybe give us an option to also use rune coins. And I think that is the way forward. Having membership and buyable cool cosmetics that we care. Go with, you know, ability overrides and all that kind of stuff. Be creative with it, but everything like that to me is fine, as long as it's not like direct experience or anything that is random. Just give us it directly. The next steps. What is the first time in RuneScape history we've decided to do anything like this? For some, that will be an exciting prospect. It is for me. For others, it won't be nearly enough. We aren't promising what will come out of this, but we are committed to taking it seriously. Things are still in the early process right now. We're prioritizing understanding the various groups of players and views identified in this survey, through both an MTX of deeper dive targeted surveys and focus groups. Alongside this work, the team are currently working hard on defining the full plan for the community constellation that will power this process. Look for more information on that next month. As for where this all leads, that's something we'll discuss through this process. Right now, we need to keep building a picture of player perspective and use that as our baseline to build from as we consider the future of additional offerings in RuneScape. I hope this provides some important context on what's ahead of us. Thank you for anyone who shared their opinions in the recent player survey. ModPips and Jagex CEO. Yeah, not much like direct information on the sense of like, oh, this is gonna happen, but I think it's important that they are willing to discuss it. And like I said like earlier, it's important to understand for us as players, like, it isn't just the perspective of we hate MTX. MTX is bad for the game. And with MTX, I think most people use Treasure Hunter as an example. I hate Treasure Hunter. It should be removed, period. And I think many do agree with it. But there's also the perspective, as mentioned in this blog, there are people that are out there that benefit from it and can play the game because of it, which might sound like a business talking, like, oh yeah, of course we need it because our players want it. But seriously, there are players out there. Like I said, I personally met quite a few of them already myself. So if I meet them, that probably means that there are more out there in the wild as well. And the survey maybe have said that. And I don't think there's any reason for them to really lie about. I mean, you can obviously always say like there's a reason for them to lie about because they can make money. But seriously, like, you don't go into this much depth with trying to communicate and discussing this, and even directly saying you're willing to remove it if there's a right alternative for it, if it's just all a ploy to try and appease to the community. So I think this is a great step, and I think we just need to be open and we need to just talk with them. I'm going to tell you this, and I don't know who needs to hear this. Microtransactions as a Bible thing will never be gone in RuneScape. We will have some sort of microtransactions, but it would be amazing if we can get rid of Treasure Hunter and just be able to directly buy microtransactions from a store. And I'm talking about cosmetics only, like outfits, like ability overrides, pets, whatever it might be, all of that through direct purchases, and in my opinion, money like purchases. So like $10 and not 400 rune coins. And for like the first year, maybe give us an ability to actually spend our rune coins and then retire them. No more Solomon store, no more nothing. Find a different way to use auras or buy auras in the game than via whatever, or even have them unlockable. Like let's say you unlock every tier of aura every 20 levels in the skill or whatever. I don't know, something like that. But a future of RuneScape where we have a membership and a store where you can buy cosmetics would be completely fine with me and would be the perfect middle ground. And yeah, that would generally just be it. But those are just my first thoughts, my opinion, and kind of my run through of this blog. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a bit of a different style video. Just wanted to quickly get it out before I went live. So if you watch it straight away, I'm live on Twitch. Link in the description down below. My name's Chevalric, and see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.